Coming up today on Crown My Run. My brother and I take on Seaford 10k, a 38.05 PB for me and a 37.35 PB for D Mills. On an absolutely scorching morning where the temperature was 22 degrees Celsius when the race started, it was going to be tough to get anywhere near these PBs, but I still had my eyes set on a 37.30 to try and beat D Mills' PB. D Mills was going to set off at a slightly slower speed, aiming for around 39 flat, and was going to see if I capitulate, as I sometimes do, in the heat, but I'm going to give it my all. Let's get going and see what happens. Underway here with D Mills Cam. He will have the orange graphics and I have the red graphics when you're viewing my screen. I am just ahead of Damo there in the white top, blue cap and Alpha Fly 3s. Not the Alpha Fly 3s of the Eastbourne Rovers runner who has decided we are all far too slow for him and he's going to go battle out for the lead. Over to J Mills Cam. Here I am with the lovely red graphics and you can see my pace at the top left of the screen, going along in the 330s at the moment, opening couple hundred meters. Need to get that back down to 345 speed, which is the goal speed of around a 37.30. Opening thoughts, our legs don't feel too bad, actually feel pretty good, feeling pretty strong, and I'm able to just start easing past a few of these runners and trying to crack down on that goal speed as soon as possible. Cutting back to Damo now, and you can see I've put a little bit of distance on him now, maybe 10 metres or so. He's going on 3 minutes 50 per kilometre, pretty much his goal speed. I've potentially gone out slightly too hot, so we're going to need to, as I say, get that back down. Damo going past a nice fresh one there on the floor, owner being very good and picking it up. Back to me, and have I settled down? No, I've not settled down. 3 minutes 33 per kilometre still. The dangers of fresh legs showing themselves here. In this heat, I really need to sort it out soon. I am roughly 30 metres ahead of D Mills here, so at least I'm putting some good distance on him, but will it be enough come the end of the race? We next find D Mills at 600 metres, just coming past Celtic Fan on the right, moving up on these three here. Is he going to try and take both of them? Be a bit careful. He's going at 3.53 per kilometre, but he is fancying taking them. You can see me just up in the distance going past that green shed thingy, so I'm still not miles away, but I've got a bit of time in hand, and let's have a look at, have I slowed things down at this point? Glory, glory, hallelujah, I have 3 minutes 45 per kilometre now, 800 metres in. Well played, J Mills, you got there eventually, and I'm in a nice little group here. Couple of runners just towing myself behind, another runner not far away, and at this point I was feeling very strong. Not a hint of turning around and worrying about D Mills. That dastardly devil wasn't even making up an inch of my thoughts currently. All about the sub 38 hype train. Meanwhile, D Mills has seen off the runners he was around initially, and he's just by himself now. He can see my little group of three just ahead, and he's exactly where he likes to be. D Mills and his own thoughts, out on a run. Dangerous. I go through my first kilometre in 3 minutes 43. Ever so slightly too quick, but overall that's a pretty decent effort. 169 heart rate. It's creeping up, but in control so far. It was a 3 minutes 52 for D Mills, so he's 9 seconds behind at 1 kilometre. I'd settled in nicely behind this chap in the Asics Metaspeed Sky Paris and was hoping to just chill here, riding the wave of glory with him for the next 9 kilometres. And you can see me now at 2 kilometres, and that last kilometre went exactly to plan. I'm still sticking behind Asics Metaspeed, and I've just laid down a 3 minutes 47 second kilometre, averaging out that with the first one. It's 3 minutes 45 on the nose. Simply lovely. Oh, no. That's not simply lovely. Why am I looking round? I shouldn't be looking round if it's comfortable. My heart rate has creeped to 175 around my threshold, and the heat was starting to get to me. But let's have a look at how Damo went through that second kilometre. His second kilometre split was a 3 minutes 51, meaning at 2 kilometres he's 13 seconds behind me. 2.5 kilometres now, and I'm just about staying with me's runner Asics Metaspeed here, who's waving at his loving, adoring fans. I haven't gone above my threshold yet. I'm just about keeping below, but my speed has had to drop, and then I skip here to 2.7k, and I'm starting to fall behind 178 heart rate now. It's going to be a long slog from here, but I'm going to do everything to stay ahead of D-Mills. Back to D-Mills now, and he's still going along at pretty close to his goal speed, 3 minutes 52 per kilometre currently, but look at that heart rate on the right, 186. He is the Passion Prince, but can he sustain that for the next 7 kilometres? I wouldn't bet against it, but it's going to be difficult to go at this speed. Certainly, I'm pretty happy at this point that I've got a 13-second lead anyway, because I know exactly what this boy is like, and he loves torture. Just before 3 kilometres here, and this proves that point perfectly. 3 minutes 48 per kilometre, and he's sniffing a little overtake here. I did later find out that he saw his heart rate was creeping up into the mid-180s, and then just decided he wasn't looking at his watch for the rest of the run. Classic D-Mills. But he is being overtaken by some people here, so that is something. Hopefully that absolutely demoralises him. But he did go through that 3rd kilometre in 3 minutes 52, which is exactly what I went through the kilometre in. So at 3 kilometres, he's still 13 seconds down. A small but hopefully vital lead as D-Mill creeps into the high 180 heart rate. Oh, and this is absolutely wonderful news. Shortly afterwards, he's lost track of that pack just ahead. That 3:48 surge is looking like a distant memory. 3 minutes 57 per kilometre. That's more like it. That's more what I'm creeping down towards. This is going to be a fantastic battle, I think. And yes, meanwhile, I'm going along at about 3 minutes 55 per kilometre, very similar to D-Mills there. And I'm absolutely clinging on for dear life to Asics Metaspeed just ahead of me, while sweating my absolute tits off. Both of us were in the zone, not recording for 1.5 kilometres there. And as you can see, I've lost touch with Asics Metaspeed. I'm going at 4 minutes 08 per kilometre, getting an overtake done at least. What was that 4th kilometre split though? At 3 minutes 59, I just about scraped into the threes, but what about D-Mills? The little tyke had put down a 3 minutes 54, meaning he'd gained back 5 seconds and there was now only 8 seconds behind me. And as we approach the turnaround now, with the quick runners coming back the other side, this is D-Mills' view. He's now got his eyes on the prize. There's me, just ahead in the white top of that group ahead. D-Mills going around at about 4 flat speed. He's definitely slowed. Look at that heart rate, 191. Is it humanly possible to do the second half of a 10k averaging 190 heart rate? Find out soon on Crown My Run. I joke. We'll find out today. As D-Mills finds an absolute sweaty Mills, grateful for a nice bottle of water to douse over his head. And I absolutely splashed it all over me, and it cooled me down for a grand total of 43 seconds, I reckon. So a little bit of a respite, but then I was pretty hot again. And back to Chase Cam, D-Mills Cam. What is the 5th kilometre split? It's a 4 minute 04 for D-Mills. And it's also a 4 minute 04 for me. I haven't lost any time. I am still 8 seconds ahead. That is great news. That 190 heart rate that D-Mills is on is definitely slowing him down, luckily. Both of us are not in a good place with 5 kilometres to go, but time will tell shortly who is most buggered as D-Mills drifts towards the mid-190 heart rate. What a terrible shame. Although I have seen he's going at 3 minutes 52 per kilometre. Get in the bin, D-Mills. Go away. Back to a lonely J Mills in no man's land, creeping in the high threes, 3 minutes 58 per kilometre. I knew that if I could stick in the threes just about, I still had a chance, because Damo's goal pace was about 350, 355, and I was sure this was going to be too hot for him to go at that speed. I was hoping anyway. Well, when I saw him 2 kilometres behind, very close, and he hadn't come through 2 kilometres later, I knew he must be struggling as well. So I was just trying to keep in the threes, but boy oh boy was it hurting. D Mills now at 5.5 kilometres, and he's going a very, very similar speed. We've been doing the exact same speed for 2 kilometres now on average, and it wasn't changing quick. This was going to be a tale of who wanted it more. And at 6 kilometres, you find me taking my hat off. I was overheating so much. I was taking it off probably half the time here, trying to get some wind in my hair. But then I was just being battered by the overhead sun, just twatting against my head. It was unbearable. But what was the 6 kilometre split, I hear you scream? I've put in a 4:01. D-Mills, a 3:59, 2 seconds finally nabbed. The tide has finally nudged towards someone, and it's D-Mills. He's 6 seconds behind. How I hate ye, son. And look at that speed at the top left, 4:10 per kilometre. If I don't get on top of this soon and take that down more towards 4 flat, D-Mills is going to be coming through soon. And at 6.5k, the monster has arrived on my heels. He's a couple of seconds behind me, just about creeping into the 3s while I'm slowing down into the 4s, 4:10s I've been doing. Do I have any response to this? He is creeping into those 195 heart rate, ladies and gentlemen, but I just don't think this guy has any respect for consequences. All he cares about is destroying my life as we get a little bit of a D-Mills death call there. 3.4k to go. You'd think he wouldn't be able to get there. But he loves ruining my life. Has done since the day I was born. And he's now half a second behind me.
Hello.
Oh, look at us exchanging pleasantries.
You waited for me to a fast finish. Now I'm fucked.
Less pleasant. Of course I'm not waiting for you. I'm absolutely buggered because it's 24 degrees now and I'm dying. And D-Mills brushes past me, but I'm not done with him. I'm not going to be defeated easily. I'm going to go to a realm I've never been to try and stay with him. I don't know if it's going to be possible because he is just such a weapon when it comes to dealing with agony, but I'll give it absolutely every ounce of my being. I don't think initially I actually sped up that much when he came through, to be honest. I think he got in front of me and was like, relax a little bit, because we're still going here at 4:14 per kilometre. But as you can hear from the it was still really hard, 183 heart rate. Not a hint of any shelter from the sun, and 3 kilometres to go. Back towards the seafront now, and I'm still with him 200 metres later. Well done, J Mills. You need to be with him 2.5 kilometres later, but this is a start. He's picking the speed up ever so slightly, 4:08, and he's trying to get away. He doesn't want anything to do with a J Mills final kick. Creeping back towards the 4 flat speed at pace I haven't been going for 1.5 kilometres. My heart rate now 185, which for me is absolutely massive. That is only 5 or 6 away from my maximum heart rate. 190 is the max I usually ever go to, and we've still got 2.6 kilometres to go. I'm gasping for air, but I'm giving it absolutely everything. I want this so bad, as does that streak of piss ahead of me. Why is he making me go at 4 flat at this time? Can't he see that I just hurt so bad? Why don't we just go for a little steady for about 1.5k and just see who's got a sprint at the end? That's what a real brother would do. And my heroic effort is over. Goodbye, D-Mills. Now I've accepted defeat. May you overtake all of the runners up there and have a classic Mills finish and get, I don't know, in the top 10 if you can. Walking along here, next thing on my mind is, can I get a sub 40 after this walk? Just getting as much oxygen in my lungs and around my muscles as possible before I get going again. Now. D-Mills wasn't aware for a little while of my doom, but he turns around in a second and he knows he's got the job done. He's now got his sights set on these folks ahead to see if he can get any more positions. Consolidation isn't in D Mills' blood, despite 196 heart rate and it being above 190 heart rate for the last 4 or 5 kilometres. Completely normal. And with a cracking D Mills death cough there, he's thinking about overtaking these two. Not quite, but he wants them, I can tell you that for nothing. And he finally makes his move, getting the job done. It's the late show with D Mills. J Mills has been long forgotten. We will check back with him soon, but for now, there's plenty more positions. That's Ollie, who was in about 3rd or 4th place, I think, at halfway, and I don't know what happened there. A bad race for him, just like it was for us, but he's not going to lose to D Mills. No chance. He's zooming off. But at 8.6k, there's another bit of prey for D Mills, and is he going to just go past him straight away? He does. Look at that surge. It's unbelievable. 197 heart rate. Who gives a hell if you die? And it's not long before he's just straight past someone else. Ring officer. Daylight robbery occurring. D Mills, Seaford Seafront. We'll have to see if he can get to the end before the police cut him off. Or he collapses. He wants that next runner's booty. He's absolutely gagging for it. 900 metres to go. There's at least 2 more people that I think could potentially fall prey to 198 heart rate D Mills. And he's getting there slowly but surely. 700 metres to go. 199 heart rate now. Gimme 200 now. Num. Another one in D Mills' back pocket with 500 metres to go, and we're just clipping onto 200 heart rate. Oh, it's making me tingle. Is there one final overtake on this young lad's quest for total dominance on the south coast? Let's listen more closely in the final 400 metres. And there's J Mills oh no, there's not. Can you get into the 2s, Big D? Go on, sprint finish. 200 metres to go. Do it for all of your fans. Go on, D Mills. Go on, get him. Get him. He's not far. 60 metres to go. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. He's speeding up slightly as well. Not quite going to be. No, actually, you're beating him again. No, so close. It's a great effort from the lad. Where is J Mills? Here he is, blowing out his arse too. He needs a special sprint finish if he's going to get a sub 40 as he comes around the final couple of corners, and it's time to kick for home. Give it absolutely everything you've got, J Mills, picking up that speed. 3 minute 20 per kilometre we need to get in those 2s. 3 minute 09 per kilometre. Go on, I need more. I want more. Yes, we're in the 2s. 2 minute 58 per kilometre. The crowd are going ballistic. Look at them. They can't believe themselves. 2 minutes 53 per kilometre. 2 minutes 48 per kilometre. 190 heart rate. That's the highest I've ever gone. 2 minutes 47 per kilometre. 2 minutes 45 per kilometre. 2 minutes 42 per kilometre. Oh my God. Where was that passion when I needed it? As I come through almost knocking out people and spotted D Mills on the bench. Right, we got our breath back, and now it's time for the times. D Mills coming home with a 39.39. A cracking effort to go under 40 on that day in history. Was I able to get there too? No. No, I wasn't. A 40.13 for myself. That amazing sprint finish wasn't able to dip me under 40. What a waste of space. But I was at least able to beat D Mills in the final segment. 3:04 speed for the final 250 metres or so. So who's the real winner? It's not me.